Wausau has a long history of providing municipal water within the community. The city has always strived for improving water quality and meeting or exceeding regulations. Over the past 137 years of providing municipal water, Wausau continues to seek improvements to Wausau's water quality, establish goals for the future, be at the forefront of state and federal regulations, and continue to provide high-quality drinking water now and with an eye to the future. This short video will discuss the long history of municipal water in Wausau and how fortunate Wausau is to have set itself up to provide adequate and safe water for decades and generations to come. The city of Wausau first established its community water system in 1885. It consisted of one dug well and 10 miles of water main here in the city. This was located at the current treatment site where we are today, just north of Bridge Street. Over the course of the 137 years, Wausau has had a fantastic history of continually improving the drinking water system to meet the needs of the community and even being a leader in using technologies for improving water quality. And a lot has happened over the last 137 years. In 1905 to 1920, water demand increased, and the city used water from the Wisconsin River to boost supply. And when it was determined the water from the Wisconsin River was not fit for human consumption, the city dug new wells deeper to improve water quality and increase water supply. In addition, the city built its first water tower and booster station to serve higher elevation areas within the city. 1920s water quality was a continued issue due to high concentrations of iron and manganese, which we experience today still. These were so significant they began plugging the distribution pipes, preventing residents from getting water into their homes. To improve water quality in 1927, a rapid sand filter was constructed to filter the water before entering the distribution system to help eliminate the plugging of the lines. This was only the third of its kind built in Wisconsin during this time period. And in 1930 to 1950, the city added chlorination for disinfection, drilled an additional 3 wells to improve water supply, and built a 2.5 million gallon water storage reservoir. We come to what we are using today. In 1964, the current water treatment facility, which I'm standing in right now, was constructed to specifically remove iron and manganese from the water and improve water quality. This facility had additional improvements made from the 1970s through the 1990s. A solid separation facility was added and a second clarifier was added for redundancy. Also, corrosion control was added to mitigate the leaching of lead into the drinking water. The treatment facility has run in its current configuration since the 1990s. 6 years ago in 2016, Wausau Water Works began long-range planning to make sure the city will be able to provide safe, potable water now and for future generations. This planning process began due to the prediction and foresight of new regulations and requirements being discussed at both the federal and state level related to drinking water facilities. The results of the long-range planning concluded the best course of action was the construction of a new drinking water treatment facility. In 2017, the utility hired an engineering firm to prepare a facility study of the treatment plant to formally identify issues, deficiencies, and provide solutions to addressing these deficiencies, as well as options for improving water quality. During the facility study, the DNR completed their regular scheduled sanitary survey and identified several regulatory violations that needed to be addressed. The DNR later established compliance deadlines for these violations. In 2017 and 2018, the utility began a water treatment pilot study to determine the best method of improving water quality, meeting future regulations, enhancing redundancy, and reducing risk of failures in the drinking water treatment process. In 2018, the city decided to build a new water treatment facility as this would improve water quality, address all of the existing violations, allow for future expansion, and provide the ability for the utility to better address future regulations. In 2019, the new facility began its design phase. In early 2020, the facility was bid for construction, and construction began in the spring of 2020. Current violations and issues with our existing treatment facility are plentiful. They range everything from our clear wells being constructed below the groundwater table, putting our treated water at risk for contamination, to the facility being in a floodplain. Our existing facility has no room for expansion. The new facility has room for expansion to treat for emerging contaminants and expand for increased capacity in the future. This new facility will change the way we treat water. We currently use a lime softening process to remove iron and manganese. We will now be changing to a sodium permanganate and oxidation treatment strategy for increased removal and improved water quality. So improved disinfection further mitigates potential of unsafe water and allows for more economical future treatment expansion to address upcoming regulations. Redundancy of operations allows maintenance to take place while still having a fully operational treatment facility online. Not to mention the system has much lower risk of catastrophic failures due to natural disasters such as flooding and groundwater contamination of treated water. The new facility will remove some PFAS from the water and significantly improve water quality. And because there is additional land space, we are able to add on an additional polishing treatment process. This polishing process will allow the city to treat for PFAS to below detectable limits. This is an extremely proactive approach to improving water quality. New standards have not been set yet by the US EPA, and so the decision by the council was to move ahead with a fully redundant lead leg system that would reduce PFAS to non-detectable limits. Our existing treatment facility has been in operation since 1964, was constructed over 60 years ago and has done very well and provided safe water for over 6 decades. The need for this facility has been well documented with regulatory compliance needs and to meet future needs. What this means for residents is that the new facility sets the city up for the provision of clean and safe drinking water for many decades, this generation and generations to come. The new facility, when put online, will provide significantly higher water quality, lower the risk of contamination, provide better disinfection, allow for improved corrosion control and prevention of lead leaching, and allow for future expansion to meet emerging contaminant regulations. It also allows for more automation and tracking, better operations and maintenance, improved lab testing and possible certification, and redundancy in treatment and improved efficiencies in treatment process. Potable or safe drinking water is essential for public health and safety in living. The provision of potable water is a 24/7, 365-day operation. This new treatment facility will provide for safe, clean water to all residents for the next 70+ years. These projects are legacy or generational projects and are absolutely necessary for sustaining and growing our community, as well as keeping residents safe. Potable water is essential for sustaining life and wellness. Municipal water provides this and so much more for our community. The system in place meets all of our current needs for both drinking water and other water demands. The system provides for fire protection and allows for future residential and non-residential development to grow our community. This system sets us apart from our neighbors as Wausau has the ability to expand and meet the needs of any development.